weather forecast.
A lot of times in the winter months, we'll get these cutoff lows that get stuck there across the Great Lakes. This one is a little bit farther southwest of us, and it's pumping in quite a bit of very tropical air. First off, from the Gulf, now it is tapping into that Atlantic moisture and bringing that inland. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show you this is basically available water that's in the atmosphere, and I'm going to show you how our mountains really play a role in this. Look at the yellow. You can almost see it just streaming and hitting up against the Blue Ridge Parkway, and then it kind of spills over a little bit into parts of western Virginia. So by far, the more available water we have is along and east of the Blue Ridge, and that's where we're going to have to watch for any kind of potential flood concerns. Now, currently, we've had the rainfall let up here a little bit across parts of central Virginia, but now it's going to fill in later on tonight. Meanwhile, through the New River Valley, quite a bit of heavy rain that's entering parts of Galax, Carroll, Grayson counties, over into Patrick County, even into Floyd. So some of your hometowns there across parts of the southern Blue Ridge have already gotten more than an inch as it squeezes out that rain along the mountain. So that's going to fill up towards the north and northwest of the NRV, going to be very wet over the next couple hours. We'll see this fill back in across central Virginia, even in the Roanoke Valley in the coming hours. In fact, later on tonight, we expect what's down here to begin to move closer to us. And so that will begin to enter the region with some more moderate to even some heavier rain tonight. And there's even been some thunderstorms down there across the Carolinas. So you can see how it's kind of tapped in right in to the Atlantic. It's pushing that in. So let's talk about what's going on weather-wise. The rest of tonight, waves of rain will continue. Some of those heavy at times. Can't rule out a rumble of thunder, and we'll keep that rain chance in, more steadier rain through the first part of tomorrow. Then once we get into tomorrow afternoon, notice it becomes a little bit more sporadic. So there's going to be some breaks in that cloud coverage. If we do get the breaks, we could get some thunderstorms, and the air is super humid. So we're going to have to watch these little clusters right in here that are individual that develop over the next couple days, because they could bring some gusty winds and hail, maybe even some rotation with those. So that's something we'll be monitoring. But really tonight, it's more about the steady to moderate widespread rain. Additional totals you're going to see kind of, over a little bit more toward the east, higher totals of 1 to 2, maybe even 3 inches out across parts of Southside. Meanwhile, through the New River Valley, we're thinking about an inch, maybe upwards of 1.5 inches additional rainfall on top of what we already have. So just a heads up. Now, we do have some things that are in our favor when it comes to flooding, and why I don't think this is going to be a huge flood concern for everybody, because we haven't seen rain in a long time. We're under a moderate drought right now. The other thing is the growing season is underway, so the trees actually soak up a lot more water from the ground once they have their leaves on them. They just require more moisture. And the other thing is we'll get some occasional breaks, so that allows some of that water to soak in. So we will get some localized flood issues, but it's all where those heavier downpours set up. Tonight, expecting lows in the low 60s. Tomorrow, it's going to be a day still with rain, especially in the morning, and then more so scattered showers and a few storms in the afternoon. Wednesday, not as widespread rain. In fact, it's going to be overall just some hit or miss storms with highs in the mid 70s. And then through the end of the week, we'll be watching that heat, which makes a comeback along with the humid weekend. Those highs are going to get into the 80s over the weekend.